It's taking me longer to get to this video than it did to hike the whole CDT, but finally I found some time to get to it. I'm going to try to keep this short, and then in future videos go into more detail about each piece of gear and how it's changed throughout my through hikes. So let's get started. First things first, got my trekking poles. I love these trekking poles, just how easy they are to fold up and get going. So just simply pulling them and then you're ready to hike. So that's a great feature. Next, on top, we got a tripod. It's not the best tripod, but it's fairly light, so it gets the job done. In the front pocket here, got my rain jacket, and also use it as a wind layer, because on the CDT the wind blows all the time. Next, we got an extra pair of socks. Usually I would have these hanging with a safety pin just on the outside of my pack to dry after I washed them out. I also carried, for most of the trail, just an extra bladder. This is 3 liters, just for those extra long dry stretches. And then I have a little ditty bag, I guess you could call it, just with like a bunch of small things that I don't want to get lost. So inside, let's see, got some toilet paper, you gotta have that, the trowel, first aid kit, which started off somewhat bigger than this, but never really replenished as I went along. So right now I got gloves, some tenacious tape, and alcohol pads. But yeah, there's that. And we got toothbrush and toothpaste. What's left of hand sanitizer from the trail. A mini lighter, never know when you might need to start a fire. And some Neosporin for all those cuts from the cactuses and sharp plants down in New Mexico. On the side pockets, have an umbrella. This is the Montbell umbrella. I swear by umbrellas. I first got them because I'm really pale and cared about the sun, but then when it's really rainy and windy, they actually provide nice protection as well. Got one smart water bottle on this side and then another on this side. So I had a total of 5 liters capacity. And then we also got tent poles and tent stakes for my tent. On the front of the pack, in the one hip belt pocket, I would always carry my headlamp in there, and I would also have my spot beacon just to check in at the end of the day, and it's always nice just in case of emergencies. In the other hip belt pocket, I would have some kind of snack, usually a bar or something like that. I had a nice little chest pouch right here, which I would keep sunglasses in, chapstick, Aquamira, some hard candy, just for easy access. For my camera, I used a low pro top loader. I shot on the Sony NEX6. Super light camera, but pretty powerful. Few charging cords. I would keep my phone in here too, which I use for navigation. External battery to charge my phone and my camera while hiking. And then that's about it for the outside of the pack. Getting into the pack, I had an sack to keep my food in. It's just nice. It's bear proof, but got it more for rodents and stuff. And then inside that, had a spoon, and then also a knife for like cheese or summer sausage or whatever that is. I went stoveless, and so my stove, I guess you would say, was usually a Ziploc bag, which I would pour ramen noodles and some cold water or couscous in and just let that soak for a couple minutes before eating it. In another video I'll go over more of what I ate on trail. Next in my pack I had my footprint for my tent, and then I had my rain fly, which I kept in the tent bag just to keep it, if it was wet, keep it from getting everything else wet. I used the Fly Creek ULL Platinum 1. And then everything else I kept in a trash compactor bag. The Hyperlite bag's supposed to be pretty waterproof, but just a little extra precaution. I kept the body of the tent in that. Then I had my puffy jacket. I opted for a synthetic jacket instead of down. It weighs a little bit more, but just in case it does get wet, because I like to hike in my jacket when it's cold. So just wanted to make sure that I had that insulation. Next I had my pad. I used the Q-Core SLX from Big Agnes. Weighs a little bit more than some of the pads, but the material's extra durable, so it never had any problems with it really puncturing or anything like that, which I had with some other pads I used in the past. For the pad, I had the pump house, which I never even used as a stuff sack. It can be used as a stuff sack, but I just used it to blow up my pad, which made it really nice, especially when you're up at elevation, like at 10,000 feet, and you don't want to spend like 30 minutes blowing up your pad. This made it really easy. Next we had some long johns, which, you know, for sleeping in or for cold mornings, just until you warm up. Have the top layer for my base layer, same difference, you know, for cold nights or cold mornings would use those. And maybe last but not least, I have my quilt, which I got from Enlightened Equipment up in Minnesota. I use this on the PCT as well. It's a 20-degree bag, and for most of the CDT at least, that's all I needed was 20 degrees. I just love how light and super compact this can get. Yeah, and that's everything in my bag. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you don't want to miss the next video. If you have any questions about my gear or anything about through hiking, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure to check out my photos on Instagram or on my website. The links to that can be found in the description below. See you next time.